So tell us about your experience. What can you tell the viewers of Southeast Asia about the best touristic places in Uzbekistan to come and visit?
Let me start from the history.
Okay.
Uzbekistan has always been the crossroads of the ancient Silk Road.
Mm-hmm.
It has long been this throughout millennia the center for exchanging views, exchanging the connecting point of religions, cultures, ideas, and of course trade. That's why throughout thousands of years in Uzbekistan there has been formed a kind of culture. We have taken the best from each civilizations. This is first. The other thing is in Uzbekistan there are some places, some cities, they have been the cradles of civilizations, and they have witnessed some empires, big states throughout history.
The second largest civilization in the world, the Tamerlane.
Yes. So in Eurasia, and in the 15th century, as you rightly mentioned, there was a big empire, Tamerlane. He created a big empire, and he was a very clever man, and he brought the best architects, best historians, best writers to Samarkand. Samarkand was the capital of his big empire, and under his empire and his predecessors, Samarkand has become the center of a renaissance. We can say we often say that Eastern Renaissance, and Eastern Renaissance was the foundation of the Western Renaissance. 16th, 17th.
It began with here. It began from the...
Of course. Mathematicians. The Renaissance begins a bit before than Tamerlane. It started, in the 9th, 10th, 11th centuries. If you remember, in the 9th, 10th, and 11th centuries, our region has become a kind of very big center for science, cultural science. For example, at this time, we had Avicenna, we have Farabi, we have lots of other scientists. For example, Avicenna founded medicine, actually, and it was developed well later in the Western world. At that time, everything was mixed. In our part of the world, there were big empires. The Persian, Iranian territory, Uzbekistan, all Central Asia belonged to one empire, and empires started, flourished, and then finished. Another empire or another people came to power. So at that time, of course, the scientists studied and wrote their works in Persian, in Arabic, and in Old Turkic. They were bilingual. So we have lots of examples from that time. And after that, we had...
So it was a very large empire, and where we are now was like the center of it.
Yes. Uzbekistan has always been at the center. If you look at the map right now, it is right at the heart of Central Asia.
Correct.
If you get a bigger picture, it is at the heart of Eurasia.
You're right.
Right.
You're right.
And that's why we are double landlocked country. There are two double landlocked countries in the world. One of them is Uzbekistan. So coming to the history again, we have been all the time the center. That's why, as I said, we took the best from all cultures, religions, and throughout millennia, we have formed ancient cities with tremendous cultural potential. Right now, we are trying to convert this cultural potential, this rich history, into tourism revenues. Having privilege of this kind of, a rich culture and history, we're trying to connect dots. So our strategy is that. So we have very deep history, cultural heritage, very rich, unique cultural heritage. We have infrastructure. We have, other things to connect together, to convert this into tourism revenue. So this is the whole strategy with lots of elements. So under the President Mirziyoyev, when he came to power late 2016, one of the first things he put forward was making tourism one of the priorities of state policy. Because before that, we understood the tourism, but we didn't make enough efforts in order to use it.
It wasn't focused.
In the most maximum way. But after 2017, we started that work. We have tangible results. For example, at that time, in 2016, we had 2 million tourists for a year coming to Uzbekistan. But last year, we had almost 7 million people.
More than doubled. 3 times. Tripled. Yeah, right, tripled.
And but this year, we are planning to host 10 million people. So constant growth is going. So we are injecting billions of USD into our infrastructure.
So now we are focusing. If I get you right, it's been gradually increasing. You've tripled. So now you have a more focus to bring 10 million. By this year, 10 million. So what is the government doing to be able to achieve that 10 million?
It's a kind of constant efforts we are taking. We are modifying our strategy, adding, learning the advanced experiences from other countries like Malaysia, Turkey.
Turkey is a good example.
Who are close to us culturally.
Yeah.
And we're taking from them, and we're also taking best experiences from countries like France, like Italy.
Do you know from where are your biggest tourists coming from? Is it Central Asia? Is it Europe? Is it Asia?
It's a good question. At this very moment, the biggest tourist providers for us, for Uzbekistan, are neighboring countries, which is Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Tajikistan. It is the case for all countries, actually. 5 million out of 7 are coming from neighboring countries. But we are trying to diversify the market. We have gradually improved from Europe because we are trying to connect with flights, direct flights, European countries, and increasing the numbers and increasing the destinations. Right now, we have 7 million people, and this year we're 10 million. To be frank with you, for 10 million, we're a bit concerned that we have enough structure for 10 million people. Yeah. That's why we are trying to bring more investors, foreign investors, domestic corporations, big corporations, to invest Uzbekistan's infrastructure. First of all, it's about building new hotels. We have, in order to attract them, we have introduced lots of incentives, preferences. I can talk a lot about this, but some of them are, for example, if you build a 3-star hotel, you will get 4,000 something for each room, reimbursed from the state budget. If 4 or 5-star, up to 6.5 thousand, you will get reimbursed for each room. If it is 100 or more rooms, so you will get it's a reasonable amount of money. This is one. Another thing is we have a big strategy to improve the roads, automobile roads first, and the railway system. Right now, we have connections from Tashkent, which is a capital, to all historic touristic places, Samarkand, Bukhara, Khiva, and Akrasabz, and other cities. There is good railway connection, and there is a high-speed train, Afrasiab, which connects to, right now, Samarkand and Bukhara, and we are enlarging this infrastructure. First, we are going to bring it up to Khiva, which is 1,000 kilometers away from Tashkent. This is first, and we are bringing more new trains in order to add frequency to this, because large numbers of tourists are coming during this season, or you cannot find tickets for a high-speed train. Just sold out.
And I think also to be able to publicize this to outside Central Asia, because for me, first time here, it's beautiful. I didn't know such a magical, beautiful place exists, but we don't know. We don't know. When you say Uzbekistan, people in Southeast Asia, many people don't know. So how do you reach out to them?
It's a very important part of our strategy. So people should know more about Uzbekistan.
Yeah.
So we have lots of elements, and one of them is bringing the media and tour operators and, for example, bloggers with a big number of audience to Uzbekistan to show them what we have. For example, social media has already become one of the, if not the biggest, one of the big instruments to promote your products. And we're trying to use this mechanism, bring in the people, show them, and when they come back to their countries, they will tell about Uzbekistan to their audience. So it is helping. For example, you can find in YouTube, Instagram, thousands of hours content about Uzbekistan, about its tourism potential. There are bloggers of gastronomy, cultural heritage, focused on ecotourism. There are different, very different, very rich content about Uzbekistan right now, important in social media. We are working with governments in terms of bringing investment and in terms of using government administrative tools. One of them, for example, or private media. We are making, for example, contracts with them, and we provide content, and they will air through their channels in the country. It's another mechanism we are using, and we're also using, for example, in Europe, we are using on a commercial base. Some companies, the screens, we are using the screens of some companies throughout Europe.
Screens? What do you mean screens?
They show, for example, in malls, in shopping malls, there are
the big screens.
Big screens, yes. They advertise very small, 30 seconds, 10 seconds about Uzbekistan. They show, and from time to time they again repeat again. So this is another mechanism we are using to reach foreign auditorium, and there are also lots of other mechanisms. For example, we are using CNN, Euronews on a commercial base to promote our tourism potential, and we have other, for example, other options we are trying to use. For example, some big football, and another option is that we are trying to use is opportunities of some big European football clubs. I will not tell you what, and it is under negotiations. But maybe you will see in a couple of months in the logos of some big European football clubs.
If you could tell our audience here, there's 3 things that they should come and visit. What would you choose, in your personal opinion? What would be the 3 places in Uzbekistan that they should make sure they make a trip for and come and visit, and why?
It's a good question. From another hand, it's a very difficult question. To be frank with you, places are different.
Yes.
It depends on what is your priority. Your priority is cultural tourism, culture, history. You should definitely visit Samarkand, Bukhara, Khiva, and Shahrisabz.
That's for culture and history.
Culture.
Okay.
4 sites which are inscribed in the UNESCO World Heritage List.
Okay.
This is the first. If you are interested in ecotourism, for example, in the Tashkent district, the Bostanliq region, we are building big, recreation zones. For example, in winter season, you can come. You can find different kind of services, high level services. And another thing is ecotourism. If you are interested in that, can bring you to the Aral Sea, which is dried up. It was in 1960s. It was the biggest sea with fresh water sea in the Eurasian continent. One of the 2 or the biggest one, but maybe because of Soviet policy, economic policy, because Uzbekistan was the biggest cotton producer for the whole country.
Is it still the biggest cotton producer?
Right now, we are one of the biggest, but we are trying to get out of our past, which was the base of our agriculture-based economy. We are trying to, introduce service, tourism, and industry. We are trying to push them, but still a big cotton producer among top 10 for sure, but maybe we're among top 5. As you know, cotton needs more water.
Yeah.
To grow.
Yep.
That's why, because of this and some other issues, climate change also made its contribution. We don't have right now this around sea, but we have ship graveyard, and it's a desert side, and for some segments of tourists, it's very interesting site. Right now, we are
A ship graveyard.
ship graveyard. Yes, we are building yurtas, guest houses near these
Uralsi.
places.
Yeah. We're still talking about the Uralsi, right?
Aral Sea, yeah.
How you spell it?
Aral.
Aral. Uralsi. So it's a ghost sea.
Yes.
Okay.
Right now we can say.
So there's ecotourism. Yeah. So you say if someone's interested in ecotourism, Uralsi would be a place to come and see. So
What we have trying to use as a tourism asset. This is what we are.
and if they want some modern nightlife and city life, is Tashkent.
City life is Tashkent, yes. For night tourism, when you go to different regions of Uzbekistan, if you ask them for every different region, every region of Uzbekistan is different in terms of gastronomy.
Cuisine with
You know, we have a very rich gastronomy, very different, very delicious, authentic, I can say. If you go to, for example, Samarkand, Bukhara and others, cuisine is different. But when you ask them which is the best place to go in this kind of cities, they say the best places to try, for example, the best place to try Samarkand pilau is in Tashkent.
Oh, really?
Because Tashkent gathered all best chefs throughout the country.
I see.
So
Okay.
kebab centers, kebab centers.
Right. It makes seem in Kuala Lumpur.
This is the case.
Yeah.
May also be applicable, for example, Malaysia.
Yes, true. I agree.
So it's a gastronomic center. First of all, nightlife, tourists. It's a big business hub. For example, if people business with tourism, they will first come to Tashkent. To their business and go to our regions. From here, and it's a big hub, a hub. We can say not only in Uzbekistan but broader Central Asia for transit and coming to it's a gateway to Uzbekistan. And right now we opened up for public private PPP. We opened Samarkand Airport for public-private partnership. And it is doing well. The number of flights are growing constantly, rapidly. So we are planning to open other regional airports.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
For this kind of partnership. We are developing our tourism industry. We have connecting the countries with Uzbekistan. We have some results, but we have still tremendous unlocked potential, tourism potential. So we invite people, all the kind and good people of Malaysia and other surrounding countries, neighboring countries, come to Uzbekistan and taste something new for them. In terms of tourism, in terms of gastronomy. That's why please come, and we always welcome you in Uzbekistan. Thank you.
Welcome to Uzbekistan. Tell us something about Samarkand. I've heard about Samarkand. It's a beautiful name, and I've read about it, I've heard about it, but I want you to tell our readers in Southeast Asia what Samarkand is, why is it unique, why is it such an important part of Uzbekistan.
Okay. Samarkand region is a historical capital of Uzbekistan. And we have more than 3,000 years of history.
Oh, wow.
And we are located in the center of the, not only in Uzbekistan, but we are located center of the in Central Asia. So also we can say we are like in crossroad. Whenever you travel in Uzbekistan, if you want to go to most of the regions, you need to pass through Samarkand.
Oh, so Samarkand is very central.
Yeah, it's the center in Uzbekistan. And we are most populated region. We have more than 4 million population in Samarkand region. And we have, in Samarkand, we have 14 districts and 2 cities.
Oh, wow.
And we have, for foreign investors, we have free economic zones, which we can offer. We have free economic zone of Urgut, it calls, and we have in each district and cities, we have branch of our free economic zones. We have some benefits in preferences for the investors who wants to do their business in these free economic zones. Besides free economic zones, we have small industrial zones. Also, we have more than 80 small industrial zones in Samarkand.
I see. Why did it stop being the capital? Because it was once the capital. Now Tashkent is the capital. Is there a reason there was a change?
It's historic. It was a long time ago. It is I know it's 1913. 1939, I believe.
It was a long time ago.
It's a long time ago. The capital was moved from Samarkand to nowadays Tashkent.
Samarkand is also a touristic attraction, am I right?
As I mentioned above, we have more than 3,000 years history, and it is very we have a lot of historical sites, which is very famous. We have Resistance Square for if we say for pilgrim tourism, we have Imam al-Bukhari Museum. So a lot of Islamic countries, people, they want to travel to Samarkand to visit. To visit the Imam al-Bukhari's mausoleum, and we have Shahi Zinda mausoleum, and we have Mirza Ulugh Observatory in Samarkand. So we have more than 1,800 historical heritage in Samarkand.
Wow! So it's like the oldest city in Uzbekistan.
It is one of the oldest city in Uzbekistan. Because Samarkand is very famous because we keep our historical sites and our culture. We can see when you visit Samarkand, you can see by yourself how we still keep our culture and our historical sites.
I can't wait to see it.
Welcome to Samarkand. We can show you our places.
Yes. So now it's a cultural hotbed, right?
Yeah.
It's cultural. You have a lot of ancient architecture, but you also have beautiful geography. Am I right? The mountains and unique geography.
Yes,
Can you tell us something?
The weather is very clean and nice. In Samarkand, we are surrounded by mountains. So all around the Samarkand, you can see mountains there and the fresh air and. In the winter time, the mountains will be very good for also visiting in the winter time. In summertime, also springtime, also right now is a green area. We have a lot of resting area around Samarkand also.
So you're saying that you have the free trade zones, industrial areas. What are your main investment opportunities for the rest of the world? If you were to come here and want to invest in Samarkand, what would be in your opinion, the best opportunities?
So we are, as mentioned above, we are most populated region, and we have a lot of natural resources. We are rich of natural resources quartz, kaolin, marble, some investors who wants to invest in these fields also they're welcome. So they can manufacture or they can produce this kind of materials. And besides that one, Samarkand region is one of the developed in industry in Uzbekistan. We are well developed. Main fields are machinery. Like we have factory of MAN in Samarkand, Kamaz. We have higher Chinese trucks, and we have Isuzu Japanese bus. We are very well developed in like heavy machines. Also, we do export. We have main biggest carpet factories located in Samarkand. We have several very big factories, so we do export all over the world.
Oh, wow.
And in textile also we are well developed, and also for dry fruits. We do export all over the world, in Europe, and also in Southeast Asia. Also, we do export our fruits and dry fruits. It's very well known now.
I see.
Dry fruits.
So it's a huge agriculture community then.
Yeah, it's huge agriculture. In Samarkand, we have a lot of gardens, and we do export fruits a lot.
Is there a lot of land that we can come and buy and develop agriculture? Are you looking at that kind of investors?
We also encourage foreign investors to invest in agricultural fields, so we can provide them provide in terms of the law whatever they need, so we can help, we can assist for the investors in agriculture, and for industrial, for services also. We are very because we have a lot of tourists.
Yes.
Like if we compare in 2017, we have only 74,000 foreign tourists visit Samarkand, but last year we had 2.2 million only foreign tourists visit Samarkand.
It's a big
You see how it's like it.
So there's more energy coming into Uzbekistan.
Yep, because we built a new a touristic center, a city we built in Samarkand, which is we have more than around 8 hotels, but 4 and 5-star hotels, and all the events, most of the events now is holding in Samarkand.
I see.
We have Shanghai Corporate Organization in 2002. Last year we had EBRD annual meeting, World Tourism Organization we held in Samarkand, and next year we will have UNESCO meeting we will held in Samarkand, because one unique is every year the annual meeting of UNESCO it held only in Paris in the past years.
Okay.
Only this time, next year, it will held in Samarkand. It's the first time in the history. So they are doing their meeting outside of Paris.
Outside of Paris.
Next year will be in Samarkand. So.
That's great. So there must be a lot of plans you have.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about the additional future events that you're planning in Samarkand?
We have several events. As I mentioned above, we have the UNESCO meeting, and we have Asian Development Bank meeting in Samarkand. Currently, we have more than 700 joint venture and foreign companies in Samarkand region. This is main our partners from Turkey, China, Russia. We have a lot of foreign companies, and last year we have more than 1.2 billion of direct investments in Samarkand region. And this year we're planning more than 2 billion of foreign direct investments in Samarkand region.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
it's really growing very well.
Yeah. Last year we have main investment project was in field of construction materials. In energy sphere we have the big investment amount. Also we are well developed also in electrotechnics. So we start to producing all kind of electronics in Samarkand regions.
So I would assume that Samarkand is one of the biggest contributors to the GDP?
Yeah, we are one of the main contributors in the GDP of Uzbekistan.
Well done. So that means I think the leadership in Samarkand must be excellent. So tell us about the leadership that is driving Samarkand so well.
So in Uzbekistan we have the same condition of laws. Each part of region Uzbekistan the same laws and same preferences for investors. Everything is same. I think also our location and our history, everything helps us to attract more direct investments.
Yes, I can imagine. So, what you think is the most unique thing about Samarkand? If you want to say one thing that you want to pick and say to the whole world, this is why Samarkand is so unique, what would you say?
Because we're whole Samarkand city is under the protection of UNESCO. That's the rule.
Okay.
And Samarkand was the capital of Temurlang Empire. It was one of the second largest empire in the history. It was so. It is. We had very in nowadays how I can explain. It was Samarkand was in 14th, 15th century was today's New York. You know how it's all
everything is the center of everything.
Because we are located in the center of the Great Silk Road. It started from China, Xi'an to go to Europe. So we were in the center of the Silk Road. All the trades, everything was in Samarkand at that time. Also, we have a very big different nations. They live in Uzbekistan in peace. We have more than 100 nations lives in Samarkand in peace. So.
Wow, that is very strong.
Yeah.
It's like a very strong presence in the history, and that is continuing even now.
Yes.
So, what is your future in 5 years? What do you think you see Samarkand as?
If we if we compare a past in till 2016, we had only 120 joint venture companies, foreign capital companies. But as I mentioned above, nowadays from 2016 to today we have more than 700 already. You can see how in 26 years we had 120, but now for the past 7 years we have already maybe 7 times more.
7 times more, so in 5 years from now,
we hope it will grow more and more. So we have new projects in Samarkand. So we're building a new city in Samarkand. It's more than 60 hectare area. So we want. It is very huge project nowadays is going on. We want to develop that city very well, and we're preparing all the infrastructure there right now.
And when will that be ready?
And it is we're planning in next 3-4 years it will be ready.
Do you have a name for the city?
Yeah, it calls Shirin.
Shirin.
S-H-I-R-I-N. S-H-I. It is called. It means sweet.
Sweet too. Okay. That's
it's sweet because it's more than 150,000 population will live there. So this is a very huge project right now in Samarkand. We have except infrastructure or a tourism project, we have several big industrial project going on. Okay. So this year we launched Coca-Cola's new factory in Samarkand. Okay. This on May 15th opening ceremony. It is one of the biggest factory in Uzbekistan. And also we have Austrian company Lascelles-Berger. Also they are opening a new concept. Lascelles-Berger.
Okay.
It is
what do they do?
They do a produce of tiles. And construction materials. It is a very huge project. It's amount of $120 million project. It's doing in Samarkand, and we have pharmaceutical projects. We have another car manufacturing project. We are doing in Samarkand.
These are the newer projects.
Newer projects. Yes. We are some of them this year will launch, some of them will launch next year.
I see. Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us, our viewers from Southeast Asia?
Yeah, I will tell them right now is the right time to invest in Uzbekistan, also in Samarkand, because we have our leadership has created a very good condition for foreign direct investment for foreign investors. So their rights, everything is protected by the law, and we have a lot of huge market in Uzbekistan. Also, we give several good benefits for foreign investors.
Can you tell me something about the incentives? What kind of incentives or benefits?
Depends on the investment amount. If we invest, if foreign investor invest more than $300,000, the benefits will start. It is for free economic zones. If we invest more than $300,000, they will be benefit for 3 years. Will be income tax, out of income tax. Water resources, property tax will be for 3 years. If we invest more than 3 million, it's 5 years out of taxes.
See. It depends on your tax price, your bracket.
Yeah,
I see. Thank you so much for the interview.
Welcome to Samarkand. We invite all the people from Southeast Asia to visit Samarkand, to see Samarkand by their by the eyes. And I mean, we have very huge historical sites, and for a foreign investor also we welcome. They can come to Samarkand to invest in Samarkand.